Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing some hip pails and rails for your hip internal rotation. Internal rotation is something that I always work on with my clients because it helps open up the back side of the pelvis as well as alleviate hip joint restriction and discomfort because most people honestly don't move this much in this direction in their day-to-day life. If the hip is not able to move freely in all four ways it can move, we can feel restriction in the front of the hip, in the hip joint. Doing something like this and adding something like this into your routine a couple times a week can help with that restricted sensation in your hips. This is a movement that I suggest coming to after you've either warmed up with 5 to 10 minutes of cardio, walking, biking, etc., or some hip range of motion exercises like cars. This is not something I would just hop into, although if you do, you'll probably be okay, but I would suggest taking these nice and easy, starting with a low effort, listening to your body before working up to your max intensity today. Without any further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Only thing that you need for this one is gonna be a mat, but you might also like some pads or pillows for your knees because we will have the knees on the floor and we don't wanna feel any bone discomfort while we're on the ground. So feel free to pad yourself as much as you need. Let's go ahead and get into this one. I'm gonna start by getting into a froggy position. So knees are going to be wide, toes and feet are going to turn out, and then you're actually gonna allow your back to arch a bit when you do this one. So we're gonna check to make sure the knees are in line with each other, and then we're gonna come into a froggy position. Suggest hanging out in this froggy position for about 1 to 2 minutes here. I'm getting used to this stretch, thinking about arching the back before we start what we're going to do. Knees are nice and wide. Toes and feet are turning out, and I'm actually thinking about arching my back, sending my hips back, and I'm just gonna hold here and breathe. Feel free to follow along with me. I'm gonna have us hold this one for about a minute before we get started. Some sensation you might feel right away. So I'm already feeling a pretty nice stretch in my inner legs. That's probably mainly where I'm feeling it, but you could feel hips, side of your hips, and even a little bit in your lower back while we do these. And while you're here, you're taking big inhales in through your nose, big exhales out. We're trying just to allow the hips to relax themselves a little bit closer to the ground. Okay, that's been about a minute, guys. The first one that we're going to do is you're gonna think about keeping the back arched. You can have hands on the ground or yoga blocks, or you can be on your forearms. And we're gonna think about driving the knees in towards each other, like you're ripping the carpet towards your midline of your body. So you're thinking about driving the knees in towards the middle of the body. And while you do this, we're thinking about keeping the pelvis still in a slightly arched position. We're gonna do that one for 10 seconds. I want you to start with your low effort and work up to a harder effort that still feels manageable by the 10th second. We'll do 3 rounds. After we've done that one, you're gonna think about driving your knees out, trying to spread the floor apart with your knees, with your hips, keeping your low back still / arched. We're gonna do that one for 10 seconds or 3 rounds. Okay, so if you're moving with me today, let's go ahead and get started finding that position. Knees in line, toes turn out. I'm sending my butt back over my knees. I'm thinking about arching my back. I'm gonna be on my forearms, but feel free to be on your hands or yoga blocks. We're gonna think about driving the knees in towards one another, keeping that arch because you're gonna notice you're gonna wanna tuck your tailbone. So I'm starting now, driving knees in together, like we're trying to fold the carpet. All right, I'm gonna start that here for 10, 9, 8, 7, keeping the back arch, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good. And now we're going to spread the carpet apart, drive the knees out. You're getting deeper in this stretch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
2, 1. Good, big breath. Again, keep the back arch. Maybe you can shift the weight back a little more, drive the knees in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep that upper body relaxed. 3, 2, 1. Good. And now spread the carpet apart. Arch the back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Big breath. And I can start to feel myself getting deeper in this position, as you might notice here. Last round. Drive your knees in. Keep that back arch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Keep that back arch. Spread the floor apart. Drive the knees out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly unravel. That was a really big stretch for me in my inner legs and my adductors.
After you do the pails and rails, come back into the position using blocks or props if you need to. Keeping the body still, back arch. We're gonna raise one leg, raise the other. I'm doing about 10 each side here. And then on the last one, we're gonna hold it up for 10 seconds, keeping the body still, back arched. It's gonna burn as I go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 10, 9, 8, 7. Do something like this a couple times a week to help to work on that hip internal rotation, and it's also going to help release your inner legs and your adductors. Most people are really tight through there, and something like this can really help strengthen and relax and stretch both sides of your joint. So this training, though it does work the muscles, also works on the connective tissue, fascia, tendons, ligaments that surround the joints. So this is one of the safest ways to improve your joint function, strength, and control without very much equipment if you're someone who's had hip impingements or hip-related injuries. So yeah, let me know what you think about this one. Give me a comment below, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more healing movement that you can do from anywhere to help your joint function and your mobility. Thanks for watching. Happy moving.